Good morning, and welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. In today's video, we are going to talk about packing paper. So, if you're in my Facebook group, you would have seen a post the other day that I made where I was like, creative dilemma to keep or not to keep, right? And I have a bag that is truly overflowing in the closet of this stuff. I love it. There are so many uses for it. It comes in different weights, so this just happens to be what was in the package that came the other day. Some of it's heavier, some of it's lighter, some of it's dark brown like this. I have another package that's newsprint paper, and I think that the same premise could be applied to quite a bit of this. So Sherry from Ratchet Up Your Art was like, what is this? I don't know about this. And I said, she goes, what do you use it for? I said, gosh, maybe the easier thing would be to tell you what I don't use it for. And so I've been kind of thinking this over, and I wanted to just come on and share in case you're a person who doesn't know what you can do with these. And oops, I have to remember, I can never remember which ones to use with embossing folders. So I might have to fuss with this a little bit. So I've cut some sheets 4-ish by 6-ish. One of these is a little bit smaller. I don't care. I love to have these for like making tags and collage fodder and stuff, right? So I just have a couple of different embossing folders here. Did I get it right the first time? Ooh, maybe I did. Now I did not spray this one with water, so I'm gonna see if it tore. And I know it's shaking you. I can't help it. I apologize. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. Oh my gosh, look at that text. Hopefully that shows, but I'm going to show you what you can do with this, or one of the things I like to do with this. So script aside, oh, this is good because I need some stuff in my stash for a couple projects. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're working on something that makes you happy. Like, we're going to the barn after a while to mow and weedy, and at the store the other day, I got a pack of seeds that are pollinator specific seeds and another pack of seeds for milkweed that are going to be monarch butterfly specific. So I'm really looking forward to getting a patch put in. I didn't get any kind of garden. I don't know what happened to this thing. I bought these through a friend, and or maybe these are some she just shared with me as duplicates. I'm not sure. But anyway, and that one's just kind of wrecked on that corner, but it still works. And I love the design of that thing. Love it. Okay. So as far as that goes, I'm only going to do 3 of these. Show you some different designs, show you how this works. Okay. And go from there. Okay. Stop saying okay. I don't know why I put that on that pile. So these can go back over there. I spent a lot of time yesterday morning, like trying to clean up my table. And Mark's like, did you film? And I said, no, I just had to clean up my table. I couldn't stand it. Like, Creep on June is getting ready to be released to the design team. I'm hoping soon so I can get started on that. And I don't know yet if I'm going to do Christmas in July or if I'm going to do a mermaid journal. I haven't decided. Okay, so this fantastic. Love the designs. Now, it's up to you. Do you want this side to be what's showing, or like where it's debossed or embossed? Hopefully I'm saying that right. But I'm going to do them where the designs are up. Now, I've used this specific one on the Rolodex card, this embossing folder, and I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, so let's just go with some ground espresso for this. So I'm gonna do this one. Why am I shaky? I'm all nervous. And if you just kind of lightly run your ink pad over the top of it, it really gives you a wonderful highlight of those of the design from your embossing folder. Now, for somebody like Sherry, you do so much with your gel plate. I'm wondering if you could use this then on your gel plate to pick the ink up or pick your paint up and then have that design on your paint. And then it's packaging paper you're repurposing. So once it no longer gives you that impression, you know, can you? I'd be curious about that. That's an idea. I may try that. I'm not sure. Okay, so this was with brown. So that's one thing you can do with brown. And then I'm going to come back over that. If I can find my gold ink pad. Oh my gosh, this drawer is totally out of control. Okay, so this I'm just going to do only in gold. And it just gives a wonderful texture on there and just gives it some interest. I personally like the gold on top of a brown. I think that it gives more interest that way. Okay, so enough about inking the designs, right? But it gives you wonderful collage fodder. You can use that as a background for a journaling card, or I like to back tags with it. So where is my, what do I have here? So I printed, I'm going to be careful with what I'm showing here. Okay. Don't know what I did with that. Okay, so I have these, right? And so let's just say we want to do this super cool guy with the bunny rabbit. We're going to cut him out and you can just back your tag with it. And this is a wonderful alternative to, ooh, do I want to do that? I do. It's a wonderful alternative to your coffee dyed paper or your tea dyed paper for backing your tags and journaling cards. I love to do this. It just gives so much. I like the color and you can write on it and it's just wonderful. So, hi, cut a straight line, Jody. So I'm not going to cut the middle of this because in the midst of what I was thinking, I was like, ooh, different idea. Different idea. So I feel like this is his picture where he's like, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do. I do magic, I do tricks. So you can back this on here and then you can make a little booklet, right? So let's do that really quickly. I am not going to finish it on here. I'm just going to back it and show you that you can use it like this. Just so many, I mean, truly, you're only limited. There's a cat hair on my glue stick. Chloe was, you see how much cat hair I cleaned up. You know, it gets under everything. Oh, hey, wet glue, wet glue. What'd you do? Hear me saying your name and decide to come and visit? She has been so playful this morning. She's doing zoomies up and down the stairs and all downstairs, and she's just like wanting some attention. So, all right. Now, the thing about the craft paper is it's absorbent. So it will absorb your glue and stuff like that. So just be mindful of how much it's going to take on your water-based stuff, which leads me to my next. Okay, so let that dry. I got glue on there. And we'll come back to this. Just going to let that dry. What we have here is a piece that I cut to journal page size. Okay, so there's so many things you can do with this. Like my ideas journal I have made out of packaging. I will tell you that it's a little bit more difficult to get a straight cut on these if you don't flatten it out first. And I did not flatten it out. Mine still looks like this. And so I do tend to flatten it out and fold it up when I'm using it. Or when I know I want to use it, I should say. So you can take your modeling paste, your gesso, your paint, whatever you want, you can put through a stencil for some interest. Where is my palette knife? I was not really prepared for this. Mark was like, are you going to film? And I'm like, I have to film before we go to the barn this morning. So let me just run up and try to do that really quickly. And then what this is going to do, and this is just my Liquitex modeling paste, and I need to get some more. And So I'm just going to put some through my stencil. I'm getting transfer from whatever I used this stencil on last. And I don't need a lot. Do you need me, honey? Okay. Oh, I love this stencil. I use it all the time. And you can see I'm not very good about cleaning my stencils. So we set that aside to dry, and that's going to give us some interest. Okay. That one I had already cut down. This one I'm not going to cut down. I don't care. Get that excess off there. And gesso is going to pretty much look like the same thing. So I'm not going to do the gesso. Let's do some paint just so you can see what that looks like on the craft paper. And you can grunge these up. You can spray, you can ink, you can do whatever medium that you want with these. It just gives you such a cool color. What is this? Ooh, I like this color. This will be pretty on the brown. Do I have a sponge? I do not have a sponge. It's okay. So this is just some apple barrel paint, matte finish in English navy. Oh, put your glasses back on. And I'm just going to put a little bit directly on my palette knife here. You can do this with a sponge, paper towel. You can do it with whatever you want. What are you doing? Yes, I moved stuff around yesterday. Ooh. I like to do it with a sponge more so than a palette knife. I just don't have one handy here. What are you doing, Chloe? She's getting ready to pounce on something, and I have wet paint, so I don't know what she's doing. I don't like that. I would prefer the paint. Like that. But then you put this in your bin, and you've got some wonderful collage fodder that's got some interest. What are you doing, Kat? Oh my goodness. Let me just doll up a little bit more on there. I literally don't know what she's freaking out about. And the only thing that is different up here is I just moved some things around. So maybe because it's in a different place. Please don't stick your tail in wet paint. Oh, I know what she's doing. She sees my reflection on a plastic thing right here. So that's what she's doing. She's looking to see what's moving, but she can't see it on the back side because the reflection's toward me, not away from me. That's hilarious. All right. And we have messy, messy stencil because this is really wet. So the thicker bodied paints would work better. It would also work better if I had this flat. Do you need me? No. So this plastic right here, she was seeing my reflection in it. So it's freaking her out. I don't know. I just finally figured out what she was doing. What's her stage name? Chloe, not Kat. Apparently her stage name is Chloe and not Kat. That's hilarious. Okay, so there's that. So this could be really fun. And then if we want to add more interest, we could come in with a different stencil. And I'm just playing, right? Oh, I love that one. Dude. I'm just getting another stencil here and trying to think about what I'm doing. I'm going to just come across the top of that with those flowers. And I am going to do a little gesso. And again, if I had this green mat has a big lump in the middle of it for one thing. And the craft paper is not flat. So that's why I'm getting these really imperfect stencils and it's squishing under. But you get the gist, right? It's more just the premise of like what you can do with the craft paper versus, a technique video. Because my technique is terrible right now. Because see, that's just too squishy underneath there. But you can do it. So just know you can do it. And again, that's just going to go in the collage fodder bin. You can stamp on this and make yourself some labels. So if you have, your favorite stamp, you can come in with something and just stamp on it. And again, you can have collage fodder. So say you just want to make a bunch of stuff, you can just randomly stamp. And let's go to VersaFine or a permanent. ink for this, and I'm not worried about a perfect impression, but I don't worry about that generally anyway. And now we have a really cool old looking background, and we can cut that out, use it for collage material, whatever. Okay, you can punch it. It gets a little soft and squishy sometimes, so if you want to punch it out, maybe just do a few layers together, so that your punch has a little bit more resistance on there. We'll see if this works. I haven't tried to do this in a long time. You can run it through your die cutting machine though and cut dies out of it. So let's see if this works. Gotta get it in there. Yep. So now we have some little circles out of craft paper. And we have a fun piece here. If I had done that better and centered that better, that would be a fun piece to put like a picture in there. And you could just glue that together and then have a little window for something. Okay, so there's that. And then last thing I'm going to show you is, I mean, it's the same thing, your die cutting machine. You can run it through your die cutting machine. These take paints beautifully. I know that that demonstration, what I just did for you, wasn't the best as far as that goes. Do I have any accessible? Not particularly, and I'm trying to think of what I used last time, what I made last time, and I think the last time I made any painted paper would have been for my Christmas journal, my December daily. What did I do with that journal? It is in this room somewhere. Let me see. I have to climb. Bear with me. I'm climbing. Probably shaking you while I'm at it. So, all right. Oh, this will be fun because I haven't even looked at this since the end of December. So this is packing paper that I have painted and painted and painted and painted. This I have sprayed and stitched a ruffle out of it. So that is something you can do. Don't think I had anything in here that was like super private. So what else? Like that is just a, no, that's on coffee dyed paper. Sorry. Okay, yeah, I use these as signature covers. So this I took outside and I brayered paint on it and I stenciled paint and I just had a lot of fun with this, but it makes the most amazing paper. It makes for beautiful paper. So they're really, it's just endless. I mean, again, you're only limited by your own imagination. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, this is full of so many fun things. I totally forgot about some of that. Okay, so there's that one. And then last but not least, for showing you journals, if I don't drop him. You know, I like to work with Amazon packing or pack edges, you know, when it comes with the foamy packages or whatever. So this is another example, and it had the foamed tab on top. So I just ripped a strip of the brown packing paper and covered the top, and I inked it. And here's another, the packing paper pages, a different session of me painting this. And this is the Santa Remembered journal that I made. This was a couple years ago. Okay, so there's that one. And then I even, this is too, that I embossed like we did this. And then I just painted over it, and that's what that window is made out of. The other thing you can do, which, do I have any? Do I have any? You can take conditioner and make really cool feeling paper out of it. Let me see where that little, I had bought a little like travel size conditioner for this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This makes me want to take all my stuff outside to play. Like I want to go out and play. All right, let's get another piece of this. And this is just a travel size conditioner. Like shampoo conditioner. To get that, I'm gonna start working it in. Messy, messy. Oh, my hands will like this. My hands are so dry. I was pulling weeds in the yard yesterday and I wasn't wearing gloves, so my hands are like way dry. Oops. So it feels really weird like at first, but you just keep working the conditioner in. And this is really cool if you do it like with paper, like just copy paper or any kind of paper actually. You just work it and work it and work it. Then you let it completely dry and you have this really interesting feeling paper. So I would suggest trying it. Don't use your high dollar salon conditioner for this. Just get some cheap, or if you've got, like hotel conditioner or something, I encourage you to play and try. So those are some different things you can do with it. Even just doing that without the conditioner. Let's do a piece. I'm wrinkling it up. I'm unwrinkling it. I'm not smoothing it out on purpose. Just going to come in with one of my archival inks, and let's see. Don't know if Vintage Photo will show up on this paper very well. Just taking it across the top there. Oh my gosh, I know. I have a project in my mind, you guys. I'm really trying to figure out my Christmas in July or mermaid, and now I've got like a masculine theme in my brain after talking about Grandpa Bunny or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I think I want to do the masculine one too, and I just don't have enough hours in my day to do all the things I want to do. Coming over this with some gold. Ideally, you want to make sure that your brown is totally dry, so that way if you come over with your gold or your metallic, you're not transferring your brown to your gold. Okay, so then what can happen is you can iron once it's totally dry so you don't mess it up. You can iron this out and then it looks like faux leather. It's such a cool design that you get by doing this. And you could dry brush this with paint. You could use paint instead. Sherry, for you specifically with your gel plate, you could totally just wad this up and dab it into your paint and get some really cool texture that way. There's just so many things you can do with it. I mean, it's just endless. And like this just becomes super soft and it's fragile. I mean, it's going to be a fragile piece now, but the texture of it is just, oh, I love it. So I haven't done that in forever. I literally have had this for, I don't even know, years. And so it's been a really long time since I've played with it. But I hope that helps you guys understand what some of the things that you can do with the packing paper. You could also, I just got another idea. This is what happens when you start saying, what can I do? All right, we'll have to come back to him. We're going to come back to him. That is wet, so I don't want to stick anything in that. And I'm in a hurry too, so I can film and get this uploaded for you guys. You can get far better results than this. This is a hot mess, so don't use how I did it as an example because I know I didn't do it right. But use the idea and do it right yourself. Like I should have made sure this was flatter, made sure my stencil was down better. The blue, I don't mind that running, but this just looks like a mess. And then we have our modeling paste here that is still drying, but then you can spray and ink and do all the things that you would do like on other pages. It's just with the craft background. So, okay, what did I just think I was gonna do? Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. No, I didn't. I'm fine. Fine. It's fine. Okay. And again, it's harder to get a straight edge because I don't have this all perfect, but you guys know me. Sometimes I want perfection and sometimes I don't. And sometimes you'll get lucky and this stuff is like perforated, which makes it so much easier to get your straight edge, right? So let's just do, oh, that's another idea. Oh my gosh, the ideas are flowing right now. And some of this I have not done before. So thank you for asking because now I'm like, ooh, new idea, new idea. Maybe not new to you, but definitely new to me. I sure hope you guys like the sound of wrinkly paper because I'm sure making a sound, lots of sound. Okay, so do I want this at 6? I think I do want this at 6. It's going to be 6-ish. And don't be like me. Don't fight the full length of it. Just go ahead and get yourself a manageable size and go from there. So I have two ideas. Hi, why didn't you cut? You did. I need a new blade. But for this purpose, it doesn't matter. We could back this with something. I just happen to have some piano music rolls here. And the piano music needs, oh, that's got text on it. Let's not use that one. Well, they all do, but that one's got super cool text on it. So you can glue this down to your page, and then you've got some really cool interest, and it stabilizes your piano roll, music roll. Mm-hmm. Oh, what if I did that? Mm-hmm. I know. I'm quiet right now because my wheels are turning. So turning. All right. Now, this paper is going to absorb quite a bit of this glue because it's very porous. So just know that if you're going to do something like this, it's probably going to take a lot more glue than what you're anticipating. What did I do with that envelope? Okay. And this is just liquid matte medium. I probably should have used matte gel to make it hold better, quicker. Let's use this side. Go to the edge, please. Thank you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Now I'm just playing. Can you guys tell when I get in that mode and I'm just like, ooh, I'm going to play. It's not straight on the edge, but that's okay because this is going to end up getting trimmed anyway. Okay. And then, yes. Yes. Where's that envelope? Envelope. What did I do with you? I don't know. So this is the problem when I start to clean up. I can't remember what I did with things. So, ooh, that one's really pretty. That's really pretty. I need a non-directional one. I'm looking at my napkins. If you guys are like, a non-directional, what, Jody? I think this will work. So we just did the napkin swap in the group, right? And I think if I do this just so, oh, this one's got the wrinkle. Oh my gosh, this one's going to be fun for a project. Should have done a mermaid theme one so I could just put this in the bin as a made piece of ephemera. I'm trying to get my layers of napkins separated here. Now I'm just playing. And I'm going to take just only half of this napkin because I'm going to do the other half on another piece of the packaging paper. Since I have the mess out, I might as well, right? This is a really pretty napkin. Okay, height. Let's go this way. And you can see all that glue has absorbed in there. Try to get that wrinkle out. The nice thing about the glue having absorbed a little bit is that it is making it easier to fix my napkin. Okay. And then what will happen is when this is dry, you can use it as a page. You can make an envelope out of it, which is where I was going when I started this. But now my brain, Susie, has kicked into gear and I'm going in 100,000 different directions with this idea. So now we have a piece that once it's dry can be turned into an envelope. So I'm going to set this aside while I do this other napkin on a piece of just the craft stock and see what that does. I'll take my heat tool to them and see what we end up with for sure, because I think that's going to be really pretty. And I'm hoping that that piano music is going to show in there and then it's not just like a big mess. So this one is, it doesn't really matter, Jody. What is this measure? Ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So I'm just going to open up my board, cut a piece a little bit bigger than 12. So once it's dry, it can be trimmed up. Are you back for more? Huh? She says, I'm back. What can I get into now? Okay, so a little bit longer than 12. So I'm not really too concerned if it's completely straight or not, which I'm not really concerned about that anyway, because it will get squared up as we... Good thing I wasn't worried about it, right? Okay, watch out. She's gonna get you. Okay, so this one is just gonna be the matte medium and the napkin. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. I'm going to hit them with my heat tool, then I'll come back. Okay, so let's recap and then I'll show you what I did. You can use your punches and dies to make ephemera bits. You can emboss them to make collage fodder, or even you could back these with something stable and use these as journaling cards or pockets in your makes. These would also make really cool card fronts with well, happy Mother's Day. If you're a mother, happy Mother's Day, because I'm going to set this to air Sunday morning. This is Saturday. Is this Friday? I don't know what day it is. How often do I do that? Yes, it is Saturday. I'm not totally crazy. Okay, it's Saturday. Oh my gosh, I just had a brain freeze. Okay, so anyway, these would make some amazing card backs, or on the put on your card and then embellish it for a card would be super cool. Okay, we said the die cuts. You can stamp on these and make collage fodder. You can that was smart. Paint on them also. These would make really cool pages in your journal. Really cool art pieces. You could do your modeling paste or texture paste on these and then add that to your collage fodder bin. Just some really, really cool ways to use this. Wrinkle it up and ink it to make like a faux leather look. The conditioner on the packing paper is not doing, maybe I didn't do enough. So I would say if that's something you want to test just to see what it does, try a small piece. Don't waste your conditioner. It works really cool on like scrapbook paper and stuff. And I hadn't done it on packaging. So I'm going to take that out of the mix and say maybe not such a great idea, but definitely try it on like a sturdier paper and see what it does. It's a really cool technique. Okay, I decided not to make a booklet out of these because they're the bunnies, and I thought, oh, how cute would those be in the rabbit journal? But they're backed with this, and it's just a totally different feel and look than your tea dyed paper, coffee dyed paper, whatever, or maybe you're a person who just likes the white on the back of cards. It's just a different element and a great way to repurpose the packaging. Okay. And then you're like, what happened with a napkin, Jody? Well, I had fun. I made a little wallet, and I didn't do it quite right because I didn't leave room for it to expand on the edges. I just stitched it together. But it'd be a fun piece to stick in a pocket, or if you wanted to do a gift card for somebody and a note, like how fun would that be? And just wrap it. I took my gold pen. I was just doodling because I'm listening to a murder show. Anyway, so just some little something like that you could do, and you could stick that in your purse. Maybe you like coupons or something. That'd be a cute little thing in your purse. And then I also did a little trifold folio. So I just folded over the edge and stitched it to reinforce the pocket there. So you could have a pocket here, a smaller tuck here. I sewed that closed. So this is the only full width one. This is for a smaller piece. You could embellish this if you want, put some flowers in it, put some trims on it. You can do whatever you want with it. But all of these are double thickness at the areas that will take any kind of pressure with things going in and out of it. So I hope that answers your question on some of the things that you can do with packaging. This is a really lightweight piece. I really like this to go in a journal. You could just glue the back down, or you could just slide that in a belly band or something. It would be a wonderful piece of ephemera. It actually would make amazing happy mail too, because it's lightweight. The piece itself is lightweight, so then you could like fill it up with all these goodies for your pen pal or your person that you're corresponding with, and you have all these wonderful places to stick things. It just could, the options are endless, you guys. I just tell you, you're only limited by your own imagination. So hopefully this inspired you to use the packing paper that's in your stash, or if you are a person who hasn't saved it in the past, now you know some things that you can do with it. And if you decide to take inspiration, please share in the Facebook group what you decided to make and let me know what you think, and if I gave you any ideas that you were not aware of. Okay, hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.